We're here, gratefully, with one of the world's foremost architects, Travis Price, and we are fortunate to be in his beautiful home. And my sense, Travis, is that this home says as much about you as anything that we could say in this conversation. Tell us a little bit about your home.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're literally floating in space right now. This house, I call it the tree loft or tree house in Washington, D.C. I'm literally on Rock Creek Park. I can walk to Metro, and there are two giant steel columns, and the entire house is 4 floors hanging in space with a glass bridge coming across. I call it the bridge of fear and trepidation, especially for new male people. And at the same time, it was really based on watching a tree when I found the site, sitting on a rock, eating the rock. And I had to go before the Fine Arts Commission. I wrote a poem about watching a sadhu in Bhaktipur in Nepal, watching a tree eat a shrine. And jaws dropped. Carter Brown just stood up and said, "I think we all approve, thank you." And I walked out in 28 seconds flat. Now, if we can get government to act that fast, it would be great. But the power of metaphor in space, kind of built this house, and it's 4 floors. It's all wood and steel and copper and glass, and I'm very proud to say that it came in at $285 a square foot, which is unheard of in DC. But it's making the ordinary extraordinary. That's kind of what the house was about, and it was 2001, and it still seems iconic, and gets a lot of people happy when they walk in. They truly feel they're meditating when they walk in, because you are literally floating over a creek 40 feet below you. Yeah.
So space makes people feel.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look today, all of us who are in the design business relate to space, whether it's the chair, the room, or the building, or eventually the city, and eventually the outer world. But honestly, space is about function, budget, all the things we know. But what it's really mostly about is the emotional state that it evokes out of people. People are already emotional. They can be sterilized by sterile spaces. They can be brought up out of their shell by spaces that excite. And I don't mean quick drama. This is not a YouTube video moment or a flash. It's really about space matters because it evokes the spirit, the human spirit, and the surroundings that it's in. This tree house is a tree. At the same time, when you're in here, you're inside the tree, where the wood doesn't rot. On the outside, it's copper, which will last, 1,000 years. But on the other hand, I think space matters most because it is how we spend most of our lives, in space, not out of space. And how that day goes forward, how it begins, how it ends, is powerful emotionally. I mean, I can trap you in a space and you want to be out in 3 minutes. I can make you where you don't want to be out for 3 days, all by how I treat it and how, most importantly, how much I understand your culture, your psyche, and how I make that space evoke it. I mean, that's easy to see in sacred space. If you're Christian and going to church, if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, if you're Buddhist, Jewish, even animists, even atheists have to have spaces because that's another religion for me, but for other people. But I think that in the end, we all live around how we feel. And my gosh, people will make you feel a way. What else is left in life except nature, people, and space? That's kind of how we experience the world.